All right, the third tool available as a time of recording in this accounting analysis feature in Load Call is the summary. So we've gone over the other ones in other videos, but the bid package lets you estimate potential revenue based on a subset of locations. The invoice analysis tool gives you the ability to really deep dive into different breakdowns and see trends and other basically pivot tables and kind of dive into the nitty gritty. This last one, the summary, is going to let you kind of just see the progression of invoices and settlements, kind of a much higher 10,000 foot view than the invoice analysis, but also uses kind of the same data set. So we're going to click into here, and in the next segment, we're going to go ahead and load this in and get started. All right, so now with the accounting summary page loaded in here, we're going to go ahead and get started. So as with a lot of other pages, you have a start date, start time, end date, end time, and the timestamp. So we're going to go ahead and just load the month to date of data here and take a look at what it looks like. So once we've gone ahead and done that, we have tabs for the overall information, purchasers, carriers, invoices, and tickets. So the overall tab gives you the date range, the number of tickets, if there's any deleted tickets, and then kind of some of the status down here. So you can see the invoice total with the dollars per ticket, the settlement total dollars per ticket, which we got the percent of 85.3%, which is about right. Well, it's probably exactly right, but it's close to what the default is set up for this account here. With some of the fuel surcharge, obviously 100% getting passed through and inflating the percent a bit. But you can also see the total number of barrels, average of 170 per ticket, and then miles, which averages out 30.1 or 31.5 per ticket. And then down here, the other part of the summary overall here is kind of the process of where these tickets are in the invoice process. So you can see that $31,000, or about 70% of them, have not had an invoice created yet. So these have not been, billed out to your customers at all. And then you can see we have under review. We don't have any invoices under review at this point, but we have one that's been approved for $13,000, about 30% of the month's revenue that's been approved. It has not yet been submitted, factor paid though. So you can kind of see this step of your invoiced amounts going from not being invoiced to being invoices working on, and then approved, submission, etc., and see the money come down this way. So if you choose a previous month, you could probably see more of the money down here at the bottom, whereas in a current month, it'd probably be up here more at the top. But to get more information on that, we can go over into the Purchasers tab, and you can see our three purchasers here who have tickets, Atlas, Bravo, and Central, the number of tickets, the amount they need to get invoiced, and also the amount that the drivers are getting paid out for those specific ones, with the associated, dollars per ticket, total barrels, or barrels per ticket, miles per ticket, sort of thing. So if I click on this, I can click and see the invoices, which will open up a new tab, and I can see any invoices created for them. It doesn't look like there are any for Atlas. However, I come over into Bravo, it looks like we do have an invoice created for Bravo at this point. But we're going to jump back over here and look at carriers. Now, carriers would be more of your settlement side, so you can see all the different companies that transported your third-party carriers in this case, or owner-operators, how many loads they got, and the information for them as well. So you got quite a few more options in here that all kind of tie over into the settlement process, so we won't really go over these in a ton of detail. But if you wanted to open up the equipment and drivers for that specific carrier, you could come into here and see that information, as well as withholdings, fuel cards, additionally due, things like that. So I could open up, different pages and kind of open them up and see any of that information from this view as well. The next tab in here shows the different invoices. This one's particularly useful because you can see that we have 46 loads right here that are for Atlas downstream that have not been invoiced yet. 53 loads here for Bravo that have not been invoiced yet. We do have an invoice right here where you have it's in the approved process. It hasn't been submitted yet though. And then oil and gas. So I think that this tab is probably the most useful for the high level view, because you can quickly kind of collate this summation and see right here the different stages that your tickets are being invoiced at, and see which invoices have or have not yet been created by your accounting staff yet. So pretty useful in here. And then the last tab in here is just kind of the all tickets useful tab. So if you wanted to sort by ticket number, purchaser, whatever, you can go ahead and do that. Timestamp, and you can come over here and see if it's tied to an invoice. So right here we have a bunch that are tied to the invoice that have been approved, haven't been submitted or factored yet. And if there is no invoice created, obviously, then you have that invoice, and you have some right here that's hasn't even been started yet. So pretty useful to go ahead and see all that information in here. But yeah, that's what the accounting summary is basically used for, is just getting a high level look to see kind of your pipeline of revenue and payouts they need to do, and make sure that you're balancing these numbers and that this is proceeding appropriately for the date range in here. But yeah, that's the accounting summary page within the Load Call Accounting Analysis tool set.